You believe you have free will. You believe you are in control of your financial destiny. You think your problems are caused by a bad economy, a terrible boss, or just plain bad luck. But what if I told you that none of that matters? What if I told you that the game was rigged from the start? Not by some shadowy organization, but by the very code running inside your head. The greatest obstacle between you and wealth isn't what is happening outside of you. It's the flawed, outdated software that was installed inside your brain without your permission. It is a program built for survival, for obedience, for a world that no longer exists. And until you delete it, you'll be running in place, fighting a battle you can't possibly win. We're not here to blame you. We're here to expose the system, to shine a light on the program that has kept billions in a cycle of scarcity. And in this video, we're not just going to show you the problem, we're going to give you the upgrade. We will reveal the 5 keys to rewiring your brain for wealth, giving you a new operating system and a new destiny. But to understand the program, you have to first understand its origin. The poverty code wasn't created in a boardroom. It was handed down in living rooms, classrooms, and community halls for generations. It was the societal operating system of the industrial age. The goal wasn't to create entrepreneurs and owners. It was to create a reliable and obedient workforce. Think back to what you were taught. Go to school, get good grades, and find a good, steady job. You see, the entire system was designed to produce workers, not creators. The message was clear. Trade your time for money. Your paycheck was the reward for your obedience, and your job security was the highest form of success. This was the first line of the code. They call it the employee protocol. This protocol came with a set of subroutines, and one of the most destructive was the fear of loss. We were told to save, to put money away for a rainy day. While this isn't inherently bad, but the psychological message was clear. Be afraid. They told you there isn't enough to go around, that you must protect yourself from an unpredictable, hostile world. This instilled a mindset of scarcity, where money was a finite resource to be hoarded, not a tool to be leveraged. And then there was the moral judgment, the idea that money is the root of all evil. This wasn't a warning, it was a clever way to keep people from pursuing wealth. It made ambition feel like a sin. It positioned the wealthy as morally corrupt, and the humble, hard-working employee as the noble hero. This programming made you feel guilty for even wanting more, for aspiring to a life of abundance. It kept you in your place, believing that your poverty was a badge of honor. The problem is, the world changed, the industrial age is over, but the program is still running in you. You are trying to navigate the information age with an industrial age operating system. It is the equivalent of trying to run a complex modern app on a decades-old computer. It glitches, it crashes, and it can't handle the new reality. This is why you feel trapped. This is why you feel like you are working harder than ever, only to get nowhere. The code is outdated, and it is time to override it. It is time to install 5 new programs. The first key to rewriting your brain is to change how you see the world's most common currency, the dollar. The poor program sees a $4 coffee as a small, harmless daily treat, as a few dollars, as a small comfort. It doesn't register as a significant financial decision. It is a non-event. But for the wealthy, it is a test. It is the $4 coffee test. The wealth program doesn't see that $4 coffee as an expense. It sees it as a choice between consumption and investment. It is not about being cheap or depriving yourself. It is about a fundamental shift in perception. While the poor mind thinks, this coffee makes me happy right now, the rich mind thinks, what could this $4 become if I didn't consume it? What is its potential? Let's put this into perspective. If you stopped buying that daily $4 coffee and invested it instead, that small, seemingly insignificant amount could compound into hundreds of thousands of dollars over a few decades. I'm not telling you a theory. It is a mathematical certainty. The poor mind is blind to this reality because it is programmed for instant gratification, for the immediate sensory pleasure of the moment. It can't see the future value of a small, consistent action. We are not talking about coffee. We are talking about every single small daily decision you make. The magazine you don't need, the subscription you don't use, and the impulse purchase you make. You see, the $4 coffee test is a daily mental check, making you ask yourself, am I consuming or am I investing? This is how the wealthy think. They see every dollar as a soldier in their army, a small part of a larger force. They don't send their soldiers to die for a moment of pleasure. They send them to fight for their freedom. And the moment you start passing the $4 coffee test, you are no longer a victim of your cravings. You are no longer a slave to the default program. You are becoming a conscious architect of your financial future. This simple shift in perspective is the first critical step toward installing a new operating system. It is the first line of a new clean code. The poor mind is hardwired for scarcity. It is an ancient survival instinct from a time when resources were genuinely limited. It is the voice in your head that says, there is not enough. It is the nagging feeling that you are always one step behind, that every win for someone else is a loss for you. This is the mindset of a zero-sum game, where you believe that the pie is fixed, and if someone else takes a bigger slice, there is less for you. This is a mental prison. The scarcity mindset is a magnet for stress. It fuels jealousy, resentment, and a fear of taking risks. You'll hesitate to invest, scared of losing the little you have. You'll hoard opportunities believing they're rare. You'll see a successful friend not as an inspiration, but as a reminder of your own lack. This isn't just about money. It's a mental state that permeates every aspect of your life, from your relationships to your career. But the rich mind operates on a different frequency. It is built on abundance. It doesn't see a fixed pie. It sees an infinite universe of opportunity. It knows that for every problem, there is a business to be built. For every need, there is a solution to be created. The abundant mind sees success as a renewable resource, not a finite one. It celebrates the success of others because it understands that their victory is proof that victory is possible. Think about the people who built the greatest companies. Did they see a market that was already full? No, they saw problems that needed to be solved. They saw an abundance of unmet needs. Steve Jobs didn't look at the existing phone market and say, "There is no room for me." He looked at it and saw a scarcity of elegance, of simplicity, and of user-friendliness. He saw a massive, untapped abundance of human desire for a better experience. The third key is to stop focusing on what's missing and start focusing on what's possible. Stop thinking about what you don't have and start thinking about the problems you can solve. Every complaint you hear is a potential business idea. Every frustration you have is an opportunity. Your environment is not a cage of scarcity. It is a canvas of abundance waiting for you to create on it. I know the old code is always whispering, "Be careful." But the new code shouts, "Be creative." The moment you shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, you open yourself up to opportunities that were always there, but you were never programmed to see. This is the third line of code, and it is time to install it. Your brain is wired for pleasure. It is a fundamental part of the old code, a survival mechanism that rewards immediate action. But in the modern world, this has become a critical flaw, a virus we'll call the instant gratification bug. It is the impulse that makes you click add to cart the moment you see something you desire. It is the subconscious belief that a new gadget or a fleeting experience will fill your void. Making the poor mind operate on a simple principle: spend now, feel good now. It prioritizes a moment of dopamine over a lifetime of financial security. It uses credit to buy things you can't afford, selling your future to pay for your present. I know you might say, this is just a financial habit, but no, it is a deep psychological addiction. The bug makes you a slave to your own desires, a pawn in a game designed to extract money from you one fleeting purchase at a time. It convinces you that the temporary high of a new possession is more valuable than the permanent freedom of a solid foundation. But the rich mind is built on a different, more powerful principle: invest now, enjoy later. Again, it is not about denying yourself. It is about embracing delayed gratification. It's the ability to look at a dollar and say, this isn't just a dollar. This is a seed, and if I plant it and let it grow, it will one day provide a harvest. It is the emotional maturity to see the long-term reward as infinitely more satisfying than the short-term pleasure. The wealthy understand that every sacrifice made today is an investment in the future they are building. Think about the people who built empires. They didn't start with mansions and luxury cars. They started with relentless effort and a refusal to fall for the instant gratification bug. They didn't buy the flashy watch. They invested in the company that made the watch. They didn't spend their money on a lavish lifestyle. They poured it back into their business, delaying their own comfort for the sake of long-term growth. They understood that the pleasure of a single purchase is fleeting, but the power of a growing asset is permanent. This is a truth that most people will never grasp. They will continue to chase the latest trend, to live paycheck to paycheck, convinced that a new item will bring them happiness. But you now know the secret. And the moment you start resisting the urge to consume, the moment you choose to invest your dollars and your time into building your future, remember, you are upgrading your brain to see beyond the instant and to focus on what truly matters. This is the fourth key. It is time to install it. The final and most insidious line of the old code is the victim mindset. It is a deep-seated belief that your life and your financial situation are a result of factors outside of your control. It is the voice that says, "It is the government's fault. It is my bad luck. I was born into the wrong family." This mindset is a terminal disease for your ambition. It absolves you of all responsibility, and in doing so, robs you of all your power. The poverty program makes you a character in a movie where you have no control over the plot. It makes you a passive observer of your own life, always waiting for a lucky break, a government handout, or a lottery ticket to save you. This mindset is a form of self-sabotage. You can't change what you refuse to take ownership of. You can't fix a problem if you believe you have no agency over the solution. While the wealth program operates on a single, uncompromising principle: radical ownership. This is the final line of the new code. It's the belief that you and you alone are responsible for your financial outcomes. This isn't about blaming yourself. It is about empowering yourself. It's about looking at your circumstances, no matter how difficult, and asking, what can I do about this? What is my next move? The moment you stop looking for someone or something to blame, you start looking for a solution. Think about the entrepreneurs who were told they would fail, the innovators who were told their ideas were crazy. They didn't blame the system, they took ownership of their vision. They looked at every setback not as a dead end, but as a puzzle to be solved. They understood that even if the world isn't fair, they have the power to create their own fairness, to build their own systems, and to write their own rules. They stopped being a character in a movie and became the director. This is the most difficult but also the most rewarding key. It is the final and most powerful upgrade you can make to your brain. It is the decision to stop letting the past or your circumstances dictate your future. It is the moment you look in the mirror and say, I am responsible. And because I am responsible, I am powerful. This is the final line of the code. It is time to install it and begin living a life of true freedom. You came to this video searching for a reason, an excuse, a secret that you thought the rich were hiding, and now you have it. You've walked through the desert of scarcity, you've seen the cage of the time for money trap, and you've faced the mirror of your own victim mindset. You've seen the code, and now you have the keys to rewrite it. The old program told you to play by the rules, to be a good employee, and to chase a fixed paycheck. It told you to spend what you have and blame everyone else for what you don't. That program's purpose was to keep you small, but you are not small anymore. You've seen the game for what it is. You understand that $1 is not a tool for consumption, but a seed for growth. You know that freedom is not found in an hourly wage, but in the systems you build. You've traded a mindset of scarcity for one of infinite possibility. You've conquered the bug of instant gratification and chosen to invest in your own future. And you've taken radical, unapologetic ownership of your life. Now I can proudly say, you know what the rich knows. The rest of the world will continue running the old, flawed program, but you now have the truth. Your brain is no longer a bug-riddled machine. It is a powerful tool, a weapon of creation, and a source of true freedom. But the journey is just beginning. Subscribe to Holzian to join a community of people who are not just watching the game. They're rewriting the rules by learning what they know, but you don't.